That day, Sarah Miller asked me to meet up, claiming she had something important to say. In reality, she just wanted to show off her affection with Lucas Stone. Lucas arrived later. When he saw me, he frowned in distaste. "Why are you here?" Sarah invited. "Oh, we just ran into each other," Sarah cut me off. "Lucas, it's rare for us to be together. For my sake, can you stop quarreling with Lila Chin today?" Lucas was silent for a moment, then nodded. "I'll go buy some lattes. Wait here for me." "No need, I have water. I'm not even thirsty. I should probably just." "You can't have iced drinks today, right?" Lucas ignored my protest. I fell silent. "Got it." Lucas walked away. Sarah's expression turned sour. She mocked me, accusing me of seducing Lucas and being a homewrecker in their relationship. She called me a pathetic loser and sneered that Lucas would never like trashy girls like me. Angry, I snapped back at her. She retaliated by snatching the water bottle from my hand and pouring it over herself. When Lucas returned, she lied that I'd splashed her out of jealousy over his feelings for her. How stupid was I? Even as Lucas grabbed my collar and demanded an explanation, I still hoped he'd believe me. Instead, I was shoved into the water. Unable to swim, I drowned. As I struggled in the water, Lucas laughed. "Lila, this is your punishment for always bothering Sarah," he said. I died filled with rage. But fate gave me a second chance. I was reborn to the exact moment before Lucas pushed me into the water. As he lunged forward, I sidestepped and tripped him. Off balance, he fell into the park's small pond. Sarah gasped, but she only crouched by the shore and cooed, "Lucas, are you okay?" Lucas emerged from the water, wiping his face angrily. "Lila, are you insane?" I ignored his shout, staring down at him with disdain. "Do you really think you can mess with me?" After dropping that line, I turned and walked away without looking back. Once out of their sight, I exhaled deeply. I was finally free. Nearby, I noticed a boy in a simple, clean hoodie sitting on a bench sketching. When he saw me leaving the park, he quietly packed up to follow. Was he stalking me? Or just a coincidence? I didn't care to think. In this second life, I wanted nothing to do with any guy. I just wanted to live my own life in peace. As soon as I got home, I received a message from Lucas on WhatsApp. "What stunt are you pulling now?" I didn't reply. He texted again, "Thanks to you, I have a cold. I'm in bed right now. Go buy me some medicine." No one's home, so the door's unlocked. "Just come up." He was always like this, openly disgusted by me, yet ordering me around, then dropping vague flirty comments like scraps to keep me hooked. But those tricks meant nothing to me now. Without a word, I blocked Lucas. Lying in bed, my mind raced with memories of how he'd toyed with me. I remembered once, when some of Lucas's friends invited him to a bar in downtown LA. Back then, he hadn't met Sarah yet, just a directionless rich kid drifting through life. Our families had been close friends for years. We were childhood neighbors. It was nearly 1 a.m. when Lucas called me, "Lila, I miss you." I froze. My childhood crush on Lucas wasn't a secret. His mom, Mrs. Stone, had even joked about us getting married someday. "Lucas has always had a soft spot for you," she'd say. "Remember when he put a bedsheet on your head as a veil when you were kids? He called you his bride." But Lucas would always roll his eyes. It was just a game. Why take it so seriously? There was always an uncrossable barrier between us. I never thought he'd call me at midnight to say he missed me. "Layla, why aren't you speaking?" he pressed. "I heard you," I choked out, tears stinging my eyes. "I want to see you," he said. He sent me a GPS pin. "Meet me here. I just finished drinks with the guys. Need someone to walk with me and sober up." Somehow, I agreed. At 1 a.m. in late autumn, the wind was biting, so cold that breathing hurt. I took an Uber to the pier he'd sent, but no one was there. Only the howling wind mocked me. I'd been played. Desperate, I called again, "Lucas, where are you?" Laughter erupted from the other end. Finally, Lucas said, "Relax, it's just a prank." "You actually fell for it?" I felt like a fool. For a joke, I'd raced across the city to freeze by the waterfront. I heard his friends in the background. "Lucas, your girl is loyal. Called her at midnight, and she showed up like a puppy. Dude, you really have no chill. Playing truth or dare, and you picked dare just to mess with her? Now she's stuck there alone, so sad. I stood there like a clown, listening to their jeers. Staring at the dark waves, I felt a lump in my throat. Just as I tried to hang up, Lucas said, "Don't hang up. Share your location. I'll come get you." What was this? A slap followed by a candy? Did he really think I'd fall for the same trick twice? "Bro, that's too harsh," one friend said. "You already pranked her once. Now you want to make her wait all night? Yeah, she'll freeze to death. Let's call it off. She's suffered enough." After a pause, Lucas snapped, "You mute? Say something." Clenching my fists, I hissed, "I'm hanging up." "Try hanging up and see what happens," he barked, suddenly furious. I was already fragile from the cold, shivering and coughing softly. "Lucas, all you do is yell at me. What's the point of talking?" I croaked. Ignoring my question, he demanded, "Are you coughing? Is it windy out? Are you cold? Does it matter?" I retorted. "Stop arguing. Stay put. I'm coming." That night, I actually waited for him. And I waited. And waited. But he never came. I used to think he was equally flippant and irresponsible with everyone, and he was. Until Sarah showed up, I never realized Lucas could actually be gentle and caring. Just not with me. He met Sarah when he transferred to her homeroom in sophomore year, but their first encounter wasn't at school, it was at a downtown bar. The dimly lit space reeked of cigarettes and spilled cocktails. Sarah's innocent demeanor stood out like a sore thumb in that seedy environment. Lucas initially tried to intimidate her with his usual entitled arrogance, but Sarah refused to cave, even as a part-time bartender. Her defiance intrigued him. Around that time, Lucas started messaging me more frequently. He'd vent about Sarah's stupidity, how she couldn't even carry a tray without wobbling, how her pride reminded him of someone else, meaning me. Soon, he began asking what girls liked, what they hated, how to craft the perfect invitation to hang out. I'd never seen Lucas so awkward before. Finally, I blurted out, "Do you like Sarah? You know I like you, can you not talk about other girls in front of me?" He stared at me for several seconds, then snapped, "You think you're even in the same league as Sarah? She's 1,000 times better than you." Of course. In his eyes, Sarah was flawless. Enabled by his adoration, she took every chance to flaunt their relationship and mock my desperation. Her favorite jab, "So what if Lila's a rich heiress? The guy I can wrap around my finger in a heartbeat? She'll never get him, no matter how hard she tries." Perfect. Ha. What a joke. When I opened my eyes, it was already morning. Mrs. Stone called and invited me to lunch, reminding me it was Lucas's birthday. I couldn't refuse, so I went. Before lunch, she pulled me aside, urging me to make things work with Lucas. Not wanting to ruin the mood, I nodded, "Okay, Mrs. Stone. We'll try." Lucas happened to walk by and scoffed, pretending to be high and mighty yesterday, but crawling back today? Pathetic. Mrs. Stone shot him a glare, "Where do you think you're going?" "Lunch is ready." "Sarah's taking me out for my birthday," he said, already heading for the door. "Don't wait up." His mom slammed the table in frustration, "That ungrateful brat. Lila, you have to help me teach him a lesson. My heart can't take this." I smiled but said nothing. What right did I have to teach him a lesson? He'd never listen to me anyway. Honestly, his absence made the afternoon more bearable. After lunch, I chatted with Mrs. Stone for a while. On my way out, my best friend Renee called, "Lila, I sent you a location. Come meet me ASAP." "What's wrong?" "Can't explain over the phone. Just come." Confused, I followed the GPS to a swanky event hall, only to find Lucas there, clinking glasses with Sarah in a disgustingly intimate way. His eyes widened when he saw me, then he smirked, "Wow, stalking me now? You really are obsessed." I shot a puzzled look at Renee, who whispered, "Lucas threw Sarah a birthday party and invited the whole department. Rumor is he's announcing something. I thought you should know." Announce something? Obviously, he was about to make their relationship official. They'd been flirting since high school, about time, I guess. The crowd whispered and snickered, waiting for drama. Even Sarah, usually so innocent, wore a smug, provocative grin. Just here to meet someone, I lied. Sorry to interrupt. My plan was simple, blame Renee, grab her, and leave. But the room erupted in laughter. They thought I was lying. They thought I was desperate. Meet someone? Lame excuse. Pathetically clingy. Listening to their jeers, I felt overwhelmingly powerless. I'd always seen myself as strong, but in that moment, I realized how fragile I was. I remembered an old snow globe someone gave me, a wishmaker. If only it still worked. I needed a miracle. Just then, a guy stood up from the corner. Clean-cut, unassuming, he stuck out like a sore thumb among the party crowd. He stuffed his sketchpad into his bag and walked toward me. She's here to meet me. I stared, stunned. He leaned in and whispered flatly, play along. I nodded, snapping out of it. The room gasped, even Lucas looked shocked. Wait, I thought Lila liked Lucas? Who's this guy? Never seen him before. Is he in our department? Are they actually together? What about Lucas? I thought she was obsessed with him. The insults poured in, but the guy gently squeezed my wrist, as if realizing hand-holding was too bold, to steady me. It's okay. I've got you. But how could I use him as a rebound? That would make me just as petty as Lucas. As if reading my mind, he whispered again, use me. I froze. His gaze was steady, almost comforting. For the first time, someone was offering himself as a shield without expecting anything in return. So I laced my fingers through his and smirked, got bored with the old toy. Can't I try something new? Lucas's eyes darkened, locking onto me like a predator. Bravo, he said, clapping slowly. Then he grabbed Sarah by the chin and kissed her roughly. Just as she melted into it, he pulled back and barked at me. So you won't mind if Sarah and I go public? Whatever, I said. Without looking back, I dragged the guy out of the hall. Behind us, I heard Lucas hurl a champagne flute against the wall, shattering it into pieces. Outside, the guy stayed calm, as if this were all part of his plan. He turned to leave without a word. Wait, I called. What's your name? He paused, sunlight hitting his face. He squinted slightly and said, just a random guy. I never got his name. He walked away, and I let him go. Renee caught up, gushing about my badass move but apologizing for putting me on the spot. Your new guy seems amazing, by the way, she added. 1,000 times better than Lucas. That night, after a long bath, I checked my phone, 5 missed calls from Lucas, plus a new text. Where's my birthday gift? Lucas had never once asked me for a birthday gift before. In the past, I'd spent hours crafting presents for him, even baked him a birthday cake from scratch once. I nervously presented it to him, only for him to take one bite and swipe it onto the floor. Disgusting. I stood there, mortified. I can. Make another one? He straightened his cuff, staring down at me. Not even dogs would eat your garbage. As he pushed past me, I panicked and grabbed his arm. Wait, your birthday gift. Don't you want to see it? I tried to hold him back, knowing he was going to meet Sarah. I handed him a ring. I searched for ages. This felt like the only thing that suited you. He laughed, took the ring, and tossed it into the trash in front of me. Can I go now? And he left. Went to his precious Sarah. I was just an afterthought. He came home late that night, drunk out of his mind. Mrs. Stone and I had to half-carry him to his room. As I tried to leave, she insisted I stay. The Stones had always kept a guest room for me. After she went to cut fruit, I was alone in Lucas's room. I turned to go, but he grabbed my wrist, yanking me onto the bed. Straddling me, his eyes glassy. Shoo. He pressed a finger to my lips, then cupped my face, foreheads touching. Layla. I can't choose between you and Sarah. What do I do? So I was just a backup plan. Never the first choice. I'd loved him, sacrificed for him, let him crush my pride. But I was done. No matter who he liked, the coldness, the drowning, none of it was worth clinging to anymore. With that, I deleted every trace of him from my phone. Seconds later, I heard pounding footsteps racing toward my room. I lunged for the door lock, but Lucas burst in before I could reach it. He slammed the door behind him, blocking my escape. Ghosting my calls, ignoring my texts, you think you're hot shit now, Lila? He shoved his phone in my face, the blocked message error blaring. Why the hell did you block me? What's your problem? It had been days since I blocked him on WhatsApp, and he was just noticing now. Pathetic. I stepped back until I hit the wall. He caged me in, leaning in for a kiss. Repulsed, I pushed him away. Are you insane? This is my house, show some respect. He sneered, don't play innocent. Isn't this what you've always wanted? Unbelievable. I snapped back, dream on. You think I'm still hung up on you? I said I'm done with this sick game. Got it? You're dumping me for that pretty boy? Seriously? What does he have that I don't? He gripped my shoulders tightly. What spell did he put on you? Since when do you get to police my life? You're with Sarah now, shouldn't you be with her instead of harassing me? I wrenched free. Lucas stared at me, eyes flickering with something like hurt. Quietly, he asked, what if I don't want to be with her? Humans are such contradictions, craving what we can't have, despising what we do have, chasing what rejects us, mourning what leaves us. I sighed, Lucas, grow up. He flinched, like he didn't recognize me. He reached for my hand, I swatted it away. Clenching his fists, he whispered brokenly, why aren't you jealous anymore? Why are you ignoring me? You loved me. Really? You have no idea why I'm like this. I shot back. He shook his head, eyes bloodshot, don't do this, Lila. This isn't a joke. Just then, his phone rang, Sarah's name popped up. He silenced it immediately. Aren't you going to answer? It's Sarah, I said. I need to fix us first. Us? I laughed bitterly. What's left to fix, Lucas? There is no us. He opened his mouth to protest, but Sarah called again. With a sigh, he answered. His tone was sharp, nothing like the softness he usually reserved for her. Whoever was on the other end must have said something cutting, because his face darkened. Hanging up, he tried to sound calm. I have to handle something. Wait for me, okay? We'll talk when I get back. Don't bother, I said. He squeezed my shoulder harder, like he wanted to say something, but finally let go. Please, Lee, he whispered. Just wait. After he left, I was flooded with memories. Did he just call me Lee? Lee, the nickname he hadn't used since middle school. Back then, Lucas was rough around the edges but never cruel. We walked to school together, hung out on weekends. He'd slip me a hand warmer on snowy days, invite me over to watch movies on sweltering summer afternoons. He'd tease me for jumping during horror films. Lee, your stubbornness is thicker than a brick wall. I don't know when he changed, when the warmth died and the cruelty took over. But younger me was convinced we were meant to be. I tried so hard to win his affection, only to realize too late that he'd become a stranger. He mocked me, used me, flaunted other girls in my face, even laughed about my feelings with his friends. Vicious, cold, reckless, at least, with me. It was obsession that dragged me down, making me blind to the abuse. But even stones can crack under enough pressure. After everything, especially the drowning, how could I still care? Love? No. Just hatred and regret left now. I barely slept that night. The next day, I went for a walk to clear my head, somehow ending up at the park, the same place I'd seen the sketching guy. I debated approaching him, but he'd avoided giving his name last time. Maybe he preferred being left alone. So I stayed back, watching from a distance. Sunlight hit his lashes, softening his features. For a moment, I wished time could freeze, letting both of us heal in this quiet bubble. I was so lost in thought that I didn't notice the kid tugging at my shirt. Lady, are you spying? He giggled, chubby hand over his mouth. That guy over there's been spying on you too. I saw, he's drawing you in his notebook. I looked up, locking eyes with him. He looked away quickly, ears turning bright red despite his neutral expression. Throwing caution to the wind, I marched over and plopped down beside him. Heard you're drawing me? He glanced up, detached, then peeled the sketch from his pad and handed it to me. For you. I studied it closely. It was me, same eyes, same mouth, but the girl in the drawing glowed with a vitality I hadn't felt in years. I smiled sadly. You're a great artist, but this doesn't look like me. Why not? He asked. The vibe is off. I tapped the paper. She's so alive. I'm not like that anymore. No, he said firmly. She's exactly like you. Strange, did he know me better than I knew myself? Probably just artist's pride, refusing to admit a flaw. I didn't argue, just nodded, whatever you say, maestro. He went back to sketching in silence. After a while, he asked, how's Lucas doing? Weird, how did he know so much about me? I didn't even know his name, yet he seemed to know my whole story. Then I remembered the figure I'd seen the day Lucas drowned me, the park, the sketchpad, it was him. Have we met before? I asked. His hand froze mid-stroke, then resumed too quickly, lines suddenly jagged. Nope, he said, not looking up. I pressed, you were there the day Lucas pushed me into the water, weren't you? Silence. Neither confirmation nor denial. I tried again, what's your name? This time, he met my gaze solemnly. Eli Summer, he said. Eli Summer. And you're Lila Chen. Something about the way Eli looked at me felt familiar. Where had I seen that stare before? I couldn't place it. After giving his name, he clammed up again, focusing on his art. I decided to grab yogurt from the nearby store. Just as I stood, an unknown number called. Lucas. Thought I told you to wait for me at home, he snapped. Lucas, enough, I said, hanging up and blocking the number. But minutes later, he stormed into the park. How did he even find me? Pointing at Eli, he yelled, you ditched me for him? Since when is that your business? Of course it's my business. I asked for one night, and you ran off with him? Why can't you just listen to me for once? His eyes bloodshot, he lunged to grab me, but Eli stepped between us. Back off, Eli said calmly. Lucas spun on him, grabbing his collar. Who the hell are you to interfere? She was fine until you showed up. Eli pried Lucas's hand off him, voice steady. You're a mess, Lucas. You really think Lila would still care about someone who tried to kill her? Lucas glared, jaw clenched, but stayed silent. He knew it was true. He'd toyed with my feelings, convinced himself I'd always be there, until I wasn't. Love? Maybe. But more than that, it was greed. The greed to keep me as his safety net while he chased Sarah. Eli took my hand, leading me away. As we passed Lucas, he added, anyone who nearly killed the person they claim to love doesn't love, they just want to own. And that's pathetic. Lucas snapped, and you're any better? Some random guy who pops out of nowhere? You don't know anything about us. Something in Eli tensed at that. For a moment, he hesitated, then squeezed my hand tighter. You're right. I don't have a history with her. But unlike you, I just want her to live happily, without compromising herself. That's all. Lucas seemed rattled by Eli's words, though neither he nor I fully grasped their depth. He stared at me one last time. That's when Sarah showed up, disheveled and hollow-eyed. So the urgent matter was running to Lila? She said, voice trembling. Clearly, they'd had a fight the night before. Lucas frowned at her appearance, involuntarily stepping back. What are you doing here? His eyes held nothing but disdain. No love in sight. Sarah must have felt it too. She laughed bitterly, tears spilling over. Lucas, are you ashamed of me? You're breaking up with me for Lila, aren't you? You've always loved her, and I was just a placeholder. If that's the case, why did you even pursue me? I had a good life before you, now I'm jealous, insecure, addicted to you. Why did you do this to me? She grabbed his shirt. I'm like this because of you. You're a monster. Sarah's outburst drew a crowd. Some started filming. She went all in, exposing his secrets, how he'd called her at midnight from bars while hooking up with others, moaning Lila's name, how he'd once nearly gotten into drugs. With each word, I felt colder. I didn't know Lucas at all. I sighed, neither of you deserves my pity. After the scandal, Lucas and Sarah made headlines, all buried by Mr. and Mrs. Stone. The Stones had no choice but to send Lucas abroad to study. As for Sarah, they tried bribing her, even suggesting an engagement. But Sarah was as defiant as the day they met. Finally, the Stones asked her terms. She said simply, I'll study abroad too. West Coast for him, East Coast for me. We never see each other again. The night before Lucas left, he called me from his mom's phone. Will you come to the family dinner? I hesitated. I'd never missed a Stone family event. I'd always seen them as my second family. But after everything, things were different. No, I said flatly. After Lucas flew to the U.S., I stopped hearing about him. My parents mentioned him occasionally, but I forgot soon after. I often visited that park, for walks, for peace, or just to sit on a bench with music. Sometimes I'd see Eli there, sketching in silence. I'd smile at him in the sun, and we'd say nothing.